Hello everyone, my name is Kalina Spitfire and I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. I play a lot of 7 Days to Die and I like to do a lot of modifying of the Twitch integration for my chat's enjoyment. And today I am going to show you how to modify the Twitch events file for when people sub, raid, if you want to do charity events, things like that to cause spawns to happen in your game. Let's dive in. So the very first thing that you want to do when you are looking at your Steam games here is you're going to go and right click on here and you're going to go to manage and then browse local files. This is going to pull up your 7 Days to Die files, and then you're going to go to data, config, and you're going to scroll down and you're going to open up two files. You are going to open up Twitch events, right click and click edit. If you have Notepad++, it is a free program. I do have another video showing how to download it. I do prefer to use Notepad++, and my videos on here do use it, but you can simply do edit and everything in there is possible as well. It's just not as clean and clear to use. So you're going to click that edit for Twitch events. And the other one you're going to need is the game events file right here. Once you've opened those up, you're going to have both files available to you. Okay, so in the Twitch events file, this is the file that you need in order to allow bit things or sub events, charity events, gift sub events, channel point events, all of those things. Many things are turned on automatically. This video is if you would like to adjust what those things do, more than just to turn it on to casual, standard, or hardcore. So basically, what you're going to do is whatever you want to change. So say you want a bit event to happen. They are automatically turned off, but this would be if you want to have, like, say, a demo spawn every time somebody spends 100 bits. Let's set that one up, for example. You're going to go into the section that's called bit events. And then down here, it's got these little arrows, as you can see at the beginning. And if you slide all the way to the end, they have it at the end as well. If you get rid of those, it's going to look different because it's going to have been turned on. Okay, like that. You're going to need both lines. So say you want to have this one turned on. Now this is here just as an example. It's already typed in so you can have that event happen. Now you can do it for the start amount of 200 bits. So you could set this for 100 and however many you want it to end for. So this would be if you want to do an event that happens between 100 and 200 bits, you would do 100 and 199 maybe if you want a different one for 200 bits, and then so on. You can have as many of these as you want. Now if you do not have an end amount, this is the only thing that will happen. So for example, the second one down here says grace bits. If you turn that one on, you see how it has just a start amount. It doesn't have an end amount. If you don't have an end, anything 1,000 or more will do this. Now be very careful if you have more than one thing. So say I have like two things that 100 bits could do, it's going to pull from the very first one and that's it. It's never going to do the second one. So you do need to be specific. If you want it to only happen for exactly 100 bits, for example, you're going to do the end amount to be the exact same. And then it's only if they do 100 bits will this happen. Some things to just know in general for a lot of these things. Safe allowed. Is it allowed in the safe zone? Currently it says false. So that means it's not allowed in the safe zone. Cooldown allowed. Is it allowed during a cooldown? Is it true or false? That's pretty straightforward, but if you want it or not. Vote allowed. Is it allowed during a vote? These are positive or negative votes. Remember, boss, like other kinds of votes, like there are attack votes and things like that, that you might not want this to happen at the same time as. And you might want it to like wait until after the boss vote and after the attack vote has occurred before it allows this to be spawned in. But that's completely up to you. If you want it to be true, go for it. How much you want it to add to the pin pot, and then what presets you want this to be on? Do you want it to be only when you're playing in casual? Do you only want it to be when you're playing in hardcore, etc.? If you want it to be available in all three, do it like this. Make sure you do not have spaces between these. If you have a space, it will not, it looks at the first one and not the continuation. So just keep that in mind. All spaces and such matter in these, so be very careful. So that's how you would do a bit event. If you're not sure what you want the event to be, so this is an easy one because spawn demo is already in here, but say we wanted to spawn a dog. That's where you're going to go into your game events tab here and go Control F to find. And you're going to do spawn dog. And you're going to find it. And I already know that that's what it's called. But if you typed in dog, you could go search through it. So say, okay, so maybe I want the spawn mountain lion. You're going to copy whatever's between the two quotation marks, copy, and you're going to put that into this event name because that's what the event is. And make sure it has a quotation marks at the end if it accidentally deletes that. And then you can call this event title anything you want. Kitty bits, whatever you want to do. And that's perfectly fine. Make sure you save when you're done. So that's how bits work. You can have as many of these as you like. You could have 100 of them if you wanted them for different bit amounts. And you can go in and take anything you want already pre-made. If you design your own spawns, of course, you can take whatever your game event file, you've named it as your event, to put in there. For sub events, it's exactly the same overall. So you're just going to go down. These are regular sub events. So a regular sub, not a gifted sub. Keep that in mind. Gift subs are later. So for regular sub events, this is what's currently here. If you do not want these ones to be on, you're going to do the exact kind of opposite. You're going to copy this, put it at the beginning, and then copy this one and put it at the end. There you go. Now you've turned it off. If it's in green and you can save it and it doesn't give you an error, it's good to go and it's turned off. So that's one way. And then what you could do is copy the ones that you want to have similar and put it up here. Okay, now we have one to edit. That way you keep these if you would like to keep them for later to turn on. Sometimes you might want that. Okay, and say a sub event for, so you can see at the end here, the subs tiers are prime, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. If you want the same thing to happen for all three, again, you would list them like this: prime, tier 1, tier, if you spell right, tier 2, tier 3, and make sure there's no spaces, like I just have one there. Don't do that. And then that would happen for all of them at that level. If you want to separate them out into different types, you of course can. Then this says start amount. So you can have a start amount and an end amount. Equal sign. 1. So you can add end amount to this as well if you would like to. And this goes for how many months they've been subbed. So for the very first sub and then a month sub, if you want something different to happen, the longer they've been subbed, you can do that. I, on my channel, have a set of party girls that I've designed, and then it gets steadily bigger and bigger and bigger the longer somebody has been subbed. So that's how I reward my chat, is like the longer they've been subbed, the bigger a group of party girls that spawns. So you can do something like that if you want to. And same idea, you can go into game events and find whatever event you want if you haven't created your own. If you would like to have a direwolf spawn every single time somebody subs, you can do that. And it's going to just go into the event name category. And then you don't need this. This is the title key. That's for changing languages and stuff like that. But if you're changing what it is, you can just delete that if you want to, or leave it. It doesn't really matter. And then here's your event title. What do you want it to say in chat, basically? So obviously you wouldn't want sub supplies. You would want dire wolf sub. Fine. And you could even say like prime if you're going to just do it for prime or whatever. So that's the kind of thing you can do there. Again, safe allowed. Is it true or not? Is it allowed in a cooldown? Is it allowed in a vote? And then what presets do you want it to be on? Casual, standard, and of course hardcore is an option as well. And how much you want it to add to the pimp pot. You can adjust that however you want. Now for gift subs, it is almost exactly the same idea. Again, you can turn things on and off using the arrows here that we copied and pasted before. But for the gift subs, instead of it being the number of months, it's the number of gifted subs. So start amount, end amount would be if they gift 1 sub to 4 subs, this is going to happen. If they gift 5 to 14, etc. If you have a start amount and no end amount, just like with the bit thing that I was talking about before, anything 50 subs gifted and above, this thing will happen. So that's how up to you, how you want it to look. So there's that one. You can, of course, change what it is, however you want. If you don't want it to be snakes, you can then go and grab a dire wolf maybe, or a bear. Maybe every gifted sub, you want it to spawn a bear. We'll just do an example one for each of these. We don't need the title keys. If it says a key, you don't need it. If you're adjusting it, you can just delete that whole section. A gift of bear. And there you go. Now, every time somebody gifts a sub, 1 sub to 4 subs, it's going to spawn a bear. Great. And I don't want it to happen in the safe or the cooldown or during votes. And this could be casual, standard, hardcore. Great. And then I can adjust pin pot if I want to. So there's that. If you continue down to the channel points events, you're going to see the ones that classically show up on your channel points if you have them enabled. For this, and of course, the mystery supplies is for casual and standard. The giving away PP is for all of them, I believe. Yeah, all of them. And the chicken one is for hardcore only. And so you can, if you want the mystery supplies to also happen on hardcore, you can just add in hardcore. And there you go. That's how you do that one. If you would like to create your own, all you got to do is copy and paste whatever style one you would like. And there's this. Now, this one does look a little bit different. If you want to change the points one to max use per user per stream, if you want them to be able to get like 100 of them and use all their channel points, go for it. You can change that right there. How much channel points you want it to cost is right here. That's the one a lot of people tend to want to change. So you could just adjust that really quick right there. How much PP you wanted to give them, that's changed right there as well. All right, so if you wanted to do something completely different, so say you wanted to spawn, I will keep the 7 days today. You don't have to keep that label there, but you can. Spawn bear. So say somebody, you want to be able to let them spawn a bear, copy that event from your events file, and we're gonna go, I don't need this. Okay, event title, we're gonna just call it spawn bear. Key, again, you can get rid of. Event name, this is the one we copied from the events. The game events, it kind of makes logical sense, but if you haven't ever done it before, the game events is the event name, right? The top thing on the game event, the action sequence, is the event name. So that's what you're looking for. It connects from the Twitch event to the event in the game, is basically what you're doing. And once you have that, you're going to look at the second line. Is it allowed in the safe zone? Probably. I don't want bears in my safe zone. During a vote? Probably not. I want it to wait until after that's happened. How much do I want it to cost in channel points? Maybe 1,000. Global cooldown. This is how many seconds you want it to be on cooldown in your channel points. I think 600 is 10 minutes if I'm doing that correctly. But anyway, presets. Which presets do you want it to be available on? And then go ahead and save. You can have as many channel point events as you would like. Of course, you are limited by how many Twitch will allow you to have. If you scroll down, these are raid events. What they classically have available for different size raids is as follows. You can, of course, turn them off or adjust them accordingly. So they have different ones for casual, standard, and hardcore. So these are the 3 settings, right? Casual is very easy. It's just the celebrate. Standard, it does easier events, and hardcore does more difficult events. You can, of course, create them that happen no matter what you're playing on, or you can adjust how difficult they are for yourself. Maybe you want this to be like the celebrate is fine, but you want standard to be giving you presents instead of giving you zombies. Okay, that's perfectly fine. So you're going to go into here and you're going to do your control find, and you're going to go supply ammo, maybe, or just ammo if it gives you an error. Okay, there you go. Oh, because it's called spawn ammo, that's why. Okay, so maybe I want the 2nd level of ammo to happen for a raid. And so that's going to be the event name here. And I'm going to call this ammo raid. And then that's fine if it happens in the safe zone and during cooldown and vote allowed. And maybe I want this to happen. So start amount and end amount, just so people know in this particular case, because it's a raid, tells you how many people they're raiding with. So from 1 viewer to however many viewers. If you do not have an end amount, it would happen for all. And of course, presets are casual, standard, and hardcore per usual. And do you want it to add anything to the pin pot? So that's how you would do that one. If you keep going down and go to charity events, this is for Twitch charity. So if you have a Twitch charity set up that whenever people donate through Twitch, not through other platforms, but through Twitch itself, then this would trigger. So I use this on my channel for a lot of charity events that I end up doing, and you can simply get rid of these at the beginning and at the end, like this. And then you can edit them. So say you want a cop to spawn every single time somebody donates. So this is how many cents. So if you wanted to spawn a cop from 1 cent all the way to $10, it would be 1,000 cents, right? So that's the cop one. Is it allowed during a safe, cooldown, vote? How much does it add to the pimp pot? Maybe 500. How much SP does it add to the person who's giving it? So this person would get automatically SP. I like to give it quite a bit for donating to charity because why not? It's a good thing to encourage. And then what presets do you want this to happen on? So you can have different things that happen for charity based on different presets as well. If you keep scrolling down, these are the hype train events. So this is what happens every time you hit a hype train. This is the event title and the event key and the event name. So the event name here, so if you want it to not do the zoo, basically is what it does for everything except here. I don't remember what the casual one does. I want to say it's not too crazy hard. It's just some zombies, some regular zombies, I think, that spawn for the hype train there, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't usually play on casual, so I don't remember. And then the start amount, you just want to keep at 1. And then what preset you want it to be on, is it allowed in the safe, is how much reward amount are you giving to the people in chat, and is it SP or a regular PP? So you can adjust that. That's an automatic thing that gets given out. If you would like this to be something like group, just keep pressing through. I want like a group bears or something, maybe. So just type in bears. Vote bears. Wow, okay, that could be crazy. You could do some crazy stuff. Group bears. So say I want group bears to spawn when somebody comes in. And so the event name would be group bears. And I can adjust the name of it. Hype train party of bear party if you want, maybe. Something like that. You can, of course, get rid of this title key. It doesn't matter too much. And there you go. It would be ready to do that. Maybe I want it for casual, standard, and hardcore. And then I would, of course, turn off these other ones since these are for standard and hardcore if that is the case. So you can do that. If you scroll down, there's also creator goals. So this is like your Twitch goals for subs or for followers. And this is what will trigger automatically to happen if you hit one of those goals. So if that's the case, you're going to turn these off. So say you have sub points one going, you would put that there. Here's the options here. You would put it as new subs if you have a goal for new subscribers, new sub points if you have new subscriber points one, subs, sub points, followers. Be careful not to add an extra space or anything like that into the title here for the goal type. Once you've selected that, whatever you want it to do, say you wanted to do again this group bears, fine. So you can call it whatever you want, bears. This would be for sub, so this would be instead of sub goal, this would be follower goal, maybe. And then sub goal bears, perhaps. And then you put the event name here, pop that in. And then is it allowed in the safe? Vote. How much do you want to give everybody in your chat for hitting that at that point? And is it SP or PP that you want to give them? And then what presets do you want this to happen on? So again, you could have different things that happen depending on if you're in casual, standard, or hardcore, as well as you could theoretically have all of these different types of goals going at the same time and have different things that happen if they hit any of them. Once you are completely finished with how this is, hit save. And what I highly recommend you do is go File, save a copy as, and save that someplace else on your computer. And the reason I suggest you do that is because if there's an update, especially right now as everything is currently in experimental, but if there's ever updates and stuff, it will wipe this file. Or if you ever need to validate all of your files, it will wipe this file as well. So save a copy of this so that you can easily just come in, delete. So if you're in here, you can then go ahead and delete your Twitch file event and copy in the one that you have saved. And that's exactly what you would need to do in order to just go ahead and verify all your files, pop that new one in, and all set to go again. I hope you guys found that video helpful. Leave your questions down below if there's anything that you think I missed or you're not sure of, and I will do my best to answer them. See you guys in the next one.